And if you don't believe me, just try it. Just try it out, and then come back in the comments and tell me if I was wrong. Tell me if you've tried all of these things and then I'm wrong. Hello and welcome to Life Hacks with Liv. I'm Olivia, and on this channel I share adulting life hacks in the areas of health, wealth, and happiness. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably like, well, I'm gonna talk about depression, so why do you talk about happiness? Well, you can't always be happy, and it is something that I feel strongly about as someone that has suffered from it myself, knows that there are ways to cope and handle your depression before you go and get on antidepressants. And if you or someone else you know is dealing with depression, please go ahead and hit that share button. Now, I first want to start off by talking about the fact that there are major differences between being sad, feeling depressed, and in a state of depression. One of the biggest differences between being sad and being depressed is, for one, being sad, you're sad because of an external factor. It is usually something that you also know why. If someone passes away, that is a reason. You are feeling sad because of that loss, versus not really knowing why you're depressed. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this other video because it's very helpful. It's not one that I've made. It's not one that's sponsored or suggested, but I feel like it will help other people out. Before you feel completely alone on your journey, the National Institute of Mental Health projected that 16.2 million Americans suffered from depression in 2016. Those are the most recent numbers. And if you just feel like you're completely by yourself, you shouldn't, because 16.2 million is not a small number. So take a deep breath. Let's dive into this. And whether you're sad, in a depressed state, or feeling depressed or suffering from depression, this will help you. So the first thing you should do is go talk to a specialist or someone that is not in your immediate circle. A lot of times when you talk to friends or family members, they feel like the blame is on them. So it's a good thing to not talk to them, because you also might not even be able to say everything that you really want to say when you're talking to friends or family. So I suggest a therapist, a counselor, even a life coach if you're just sad and you need to move on and do further work. Maybe a mentor, a pastor if you're religious, or a preacher or priest, whatever denomination you are. Whatever you need to go talk to someone and just get everything off of your chest. A lot of times it's so much better if you're just out of your head and not stuck in your head the whole entire time. The second thing that I suggest doing is changing your self-talk. Now, if you are upset and you're just feeling like on the inside, you're just hating yourself and you're just feeling like, it's not worth it, don't say things like this: I suck at life. Rather, say things like this: yes, you got this. If you're upset because you think there's no going back, or you've done something really bad, or someone has done something to you, whatever that might be, do not say things like this: I'm never gonna be good at anything. There's really no point. Instead, say things like this: it's okay. It is all okay. How you speak to yourself has so much to do on your mental state. It starts in here. Because if you don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, and believe me, I've been there. I've not wanted to get out of bed, but I was not saying nice things to myself. It's hard to do that, and it's going to be hard in the beginning, but if you really want to get better, saying positive things to yourself really helps you get over that hump. And it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end, that you have the control over a lot of those states that you fall into when you're feeling depressed, or when you are depressed, or when you're very, very sad. Clean up your surroundings. That means clean your body, clean your house, clean your car. A cluttered mind definitely shows around in your surroundings. And a lot of times it helps when you don't have a bunch of clutter to distract you, and just, it almost feels suffocating when your house is a mess and you don't even want to enjoy your space. So I highly suggest starting in a small area if your whole entire house is a wreck. Just focusing on that small area and doing that. But first, give yourself a nice shower or a nice bath and just relax a little bit, and like take a minute to breathe and really breathe clean air and just clean all of your surroundings. That really, really helps more than you know. The next thing that I suggest doing is getting some vitamin D in your life. And I mean the vitamin, some sunlight. That's what I mean. But seriously, it really does help to be outside in the fresh air with some sun. And I know some of you are probably like, how am I supposed to get any sunlight when there's only like 4 hours of sunlight here? And I've got to work those 4 hours and I can't get away from my job. Like how is that going to work? If you can't get outside in the sun, take some vitamins, and that will help you until you can get to some sunlight. But if you're really feeling down and out, really just take 15 minutes of your day to go be out in the sunlight. I promise, just the rays on your skin, just it definitely helps you feel a lot better. The next thing I want you to do is laugh. And I know that might sound a little crazy, like I can't laugh right now. I'm like really upset and depressed and going through things, and I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders. Find some video that makes you laugh from the bottom of your stomach. And I mean really laugh, to bring the joy like all the way out. Like, or even, call one of those friends that really just always makes you laugh. Or, if you usually joke around, try joking around. Try not being so serious for just a moment in time, just to enjoy your life. And you can do that with laughter, and laughter automatically brings joy. And after you laugh, I want you to look at everything around you and practice gratitude for everything that you have in your life. It's really hard to practice gratitude when you're already down, but like right after you laugh, it's really good to be like, you know what? I got a nice couch. Or even, you know what? I'm happy that I can afford this roof over my head. Or I'm grateful that I have running water, because there are plenty of people that don't have running water. And I know you probably don't care about those other people right now. You're just going through what you're going through. But you need to practice gratitude for what you have at this very moment before you can receive anything else. If you are upset over material things, you need to learn to appreciate what you have first before you'll actually appreciate anything else. Happiness does not come from material objects. So that's not what I'm saying. Appreciate the fact that you're alive. Appreciate the relationships that you do have in your life. Let's say you just went through a breakup. Appreciate the friends that you have, and appreciate the fact that, you know what? At least I don't have to deal with that person anymore, because yeah, you might have loved them. Yeah, but they didn't love you enough. And you have to love yourself more. So at least be grateful that you have yourself. Yeah, at least be grateful that you have your life. A lot of times, you'll sit down and be like, I'm so ready to end it. But if you clicked on this video, you're probably looking for a way not to end your life, and a way to deal with things so you don't want to end it. What you really want is to figure out how to not feel what you're feeling right now. And that is completely understandable. I feel like, we've all felt like that. And I mean, I know like how bad it really sucks to just, you don't want to be grateful. You don't want to think about like what other people don't have. You don't want to think about like, what you could or couldn't do. That's why I suggest to laugh first, because that's when you'll actually learn to be like, okay, this is better. Your spirit is lifted from laughter. And then after that, once you've got an idea of what you're grateful for, your mood's a little lifted, you figure out how to get out of the situation you're in. If you are upset for whatever the reason is, there is a way to get out of it, and stop the idea that you can't. I do want you to know that this is going to take time. And when I say time, I mean like it could take weeks, it could take months, but you're actually fixing the problem rather than just putting a Band-Aid over it. And if you do have a chemical imbalance, absolutely go to a professional and get help. But first, do all of these things first before you go and do that. Because you can really help yourself before you give your money away to the healthcare industry that is making money off of us being sick. Thank you so much for watching Life Hacks with Liv. This was a more serious video than I usually do, but I thought it was necessary. And if you like this content or content like it, please give this a thumbs up. If you liked me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you feel like any of these things were helpful or I left something out, please leave a comment below. Thanks so much again, and may you have health, wealth, and happiness.